Hello everyone! Welcome to the second episode of Flight School's Killer Queen Strategy video series. This episode is about openers, the beginning of the game right after the countdown ends, when the yellow fence drops on the map and everyone's able to move about the map freely. Each map has diversity in openers, but there are some things that every team must do if they want to compete at the top levels. Openers have been heavily workshopped by the community over the years, and while some nuance and diversity remains, most of the tricks that give a team advantage have been figured out at this point, and there are clear counters to those tricks. What this means is that at the end of the day, it's not about winning the opener and putting the enemy in a disadvantageous position, but rather it's about ensuring that you're not put in a disadvantageous position yourself. Both teams tend to try to break even by minimizing the chances that the enemy can do anything notable to hinder them early on. This is most obvious on queen openers, but it's blatant with drone openers as well. Frankly, disruptions to enemy openers are more likely to set you back than they are to help you win, and just aren't that good at the top level. To talk about openers, we have to first establish what formation and objective our teams are running. So let's start off easy and talk about day map. On day map, frankly as it stands, berries are completely unviable. 1/4 of all berries on the map have to go into your own hive to win off economy. Also, day is the most punishing map for queens and recovering from your team's warriors being wiped. As a result, absolutely no one runs berries at the top level because you can't get them in quickly enough without risking not being able to recover from a wipe. To beat an enemy team on day berries, you have to best them so significantly in the military matchups that you would have won off snail already, if not more quickly. So they're just not worth the investment, which makes day map super easy to talk about in terms of formation and objectives, because both teams are going to run snail and they're going to try to keep 3 warriors up at all times. So 3-1 for both teams. So let's take a look at a game and see how this breaks down at the top level. Before this game gets rolling, I want to say a few things, which is I talked about some best practices of things that teams should always do when you're playing on various maps. And on day map at opener, there's a few glaring obvious things that you must do. And the number one is for the queen. When the game starts, the queen should always go over here and tag speed gate. And then once they've tagged speed gate, they should come back to this general area so that they are prepared that when the game starts, they hit the jade hive right here and meet each other in the middle to 50-50. Both queens should be doing the same opener, and the reason why is because if you don't do it and the enemy does, you're going to be on the back foot for the entire game. If you go down and tag your near gate, the gate closest to your hive, then you will be locked out of the majority of the map and will be playing back from your back foot the entire time. So just open like this and you're going to see games go pretty well for you. The other one is for the primary vanilla. The primary vanilla getting up out of near gate should always come down and grab this berry and then immediately head to their gate. Both of them should do the exact same thing. Head there. The other is for the speed warrior, the primary speed, the first speed warrior getting out on the map. Should go down and grab this berry, and then there's a couple pathways back up. They can jump up, blah, 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 and go over to the speed gate. Similarly, you could take a different route, hopping on the inside and getting to the speed gate. It doesn't really matter. But that's just straightforward. Those should be instantaneous. There should be no hesitation in those decision processes for the primary speed, the primary vanilla, and the queen. They should always be doing those things exactly like that. There is a little variance on day map for your objective runner, that's going to be your snail rider, and for your second warrior. So particularly the 2 points of interest that are up in the air at open are middle gate and snail. Those are the only things that are really contestable. There is some legitimacy in sending a drone to line up here at open so that they can go down through the wrap to get up far gate, but I'm not crazy over that. I think you'd be better off just stacking up out of near, but totally legitimate. But the main 2 points of interest are mid gate and snail, and really what that means is if you want to devote resources to taking one of those, go for it. So notably, these teams are going to do 2 different styles, which is that blue is going to try to get up a drone out of mid-gate as a warrior, and to do so, they are going to sacrifice early snail push at open for a bump. Their snail rider is going to go and bump middle to get their vanilla out, whereas for gold team, they're only going to send one drone to contest middle, and then that drone is going to go to speed, and their objective runner is going to go straight to snail. So let's go ahead and get this game rolling and just check that out and see how it unfolds. So you can see both queens tag their speed gates, get back into the zone, slightly different positions, but both prepare to J-dive into middle. They both hit those J-dives as the drones go down and get up in their near gates. Blue gets one vanilla out of mid. Both speed drones stock out. Gold gets control of snail, but the snail guard, the offensive objective guard for blue team, immediately goes down and clears that snail. So blue is able to get early pressure by having the extra warrior that they sent out at mid-gate block gold stripes from being able to go into the snail zone. That does cost that blue warrior its life, but they do get early snail control in exchange. At the same time, 2 speed warriors dock out, 1 for each team. But as those speed warriors form, a second speed gets out for gold team. And they currently have warrior advantage. Right now, opener has ended, and the compositions of the teams are 2 speed warriors for gold team with 1 vanilla, and 1 speed warrior for blue team and 2 vanillas. This is a pretty common way for teams that run these different openers, slightly different openers, to unfold. And that's basically what most competitive day maps are going to look like. I will be covering at other times, anytime complications occur to this, but this is pretty straightforward how day maps tend to look at the competitive level and what you should be trying to do with your day maps. And so that's the basics of how to open up on day map. I'm going to go into more specifics on what happens when some weirder things happen on opener on day map in different videos, but this is the core concepts of how you should be approaching your day maps to compete at the competitive level. Stay tuned. Our upcoming videos for the KQ strategy series are going to be how to open up on night and how to open up on dusk, and those maps are a lot more complicated than day map, and I think you're going to like those videos. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.